fellow class 10 students. In continuation of excretion topic of life process, today I am discussing about mechanism of urine formation. Mechanism of urine formation. How does urine formation occurs? Actually, the entire mechanism can broadly be divided in three headings. First one is called ultrafiltration, second one is called reabsorption, and third one is called tubular secretion. Ultrafiltration occurs in glomerulus, in Bowman capsule, whereas these two, that means reabsorption and tubular secretion, occurs by peritubular capillaries. It occurs by peritubular capillaries in which part or in which region? In proximal convoluted tubule. Second one, loop of Henle. And third one, distal convoluted tubule and collecting duct. That means along with part of nephron, blood capillaries also play a main role. Ultrafiltration occurs in Bowman capsule by glomerulus, whereas reabsorption and tubular secretion occurs in PCT, proximal convoluted tubule, distal convoluted tubule, loop of Henle, collecting tubule, but main role is played by peritubular capillaries. Now, each topic we will discuss in detail: ultrafiltration, reabsorption and tubular secretion. I am starting from ultrafiltration, which is the first step of urine formation. What happened here? Actually, it is carried out by glomerulus under high pressure. Due to high pressure, it is called ultrafiltration. Why high pressure is created or produced in glomerulus part? Why under pressure? Because there is difference in diameter of afferent and efferent blood vessel. Afferent blood vessel entering in Bowman capsule, whereas efferent blood vessel exiting from Bowman capsule. Due to difference in afferent and efferent blood vessel, in glomerulus part, which is contained in Bowman capsule, a high pressure is produced. Under high pressure, filtrate reaches to Bowman capsule through pores in glomerulus as well as Bowman capsule. It will be discussed by drawing a diagram. You can easily understand in diagram. Now, what is the amount of filtrate? The filtrate which reaches to Bowman capsule is called glomerular filtrate, and its amount of filtrate in Bowman capsule is 180 liter per day. You never excrete out 180 liter per day. Then we only excrete out 1.5 to 2 liter urine per day. Then where does the rest amount go? Actually, rest amount is absorbed by the process of reabsorption by peritubular capillary. And after that, to maintain the osmolarity of blood and to maintain the urine constitution, tubular secretion occur, and it also occur by peritubular capillaries, but ultrafiltration filtration part, first we will see in diagram in detail. Look at here. Ultrafiltration, how does it occur? Actually, this is Bowman capsule. Bowman capsule is cup-like structure. This one is proximal convoluted tubule. You can see convoluted structure in diagram. Then it constricts to form U-like structure. This U-like structure is loop of Henle. Loop of Henle, and this loop of Henle again opens in distal convoluted structure, distal convoluted tubule, and then it opens in collecting tubule. This one is Bowman capsule. Proximal convoluted tubule, loop of Henle, proximal convoluted tubule, loop of Henle, distal convoluted tubule, and this one is collecting duct. Now, blood vessel entering in Bowman capsule. This is efferent blood vessel. It is converted into efferent glomerulus in Bowman capsule. Here, the efferent blood vessel through which blood is entering for filtration process. This one is efferent blood vessel. In Bowman capsule, it divides, redivides and form large number of capillaries. Actually, it is stuffed of capillaries. It is highly porous. Acts as C, and it exists as efferent blood vessel. Efferent blood vessel. Blood direction. What is the direction of blood? Efferent. That here efferent. Then glomerulus. Then efferent. This is the direction of blood. This efferent blood vessel surrounds the nephric tubule from all the sides. You can see here, it surrounds the nephric tubule from all the sides. How it surrounds it, you can see in the diagram. From all the sides, it surrounds the nephric tubule, and then it here efferent blood vessel again forms a branch. Large number of branches emerges out from efferent blood vessel. These branches are known as peritubular capillaries. It is known as peritubular tubular capillaries. These peritubular capillaries surround it from all the sides. Then it again unite, and if all the capillaries from each and every nephron when unite, it form renal vein, and then it emerges out from each kidney as renal vein. Now we are discussing how ultrafiltration occurs in Bowman capsule in glomerulus. In glomerulus, this one is glomerulus. You can see here blood vessel entering here. Blood vessel entering here is afferent blood vessel, and this blood vessel when enters in Bowman capsule, it forms tuft of blood capillaries and then exits as efferent blood vessel. Why high pressure produced here? Due to difference in diameter, you can see here difference in diameter of afferent and efferent. It is wider, it is narrower. Due to difference in diameter of afferent and efferent blood vessel, a high pressure is produced in glomerular capillaries, and due to high pressure, blood filters and it is collected in Bowman capsule, and then it is called glomerular filtrate. Glomerular filtrate. Then it is called glomerular filtrate. Actually, pores are not only present in glomerulus, it is also present in wall of Bowman capsule. This pore which is present in wall of, you can see in the diagram also, the pore which is present in wall of Bowman capsule is called porocyte, and through these pores which is present in glomerulus as well as Bowman capsule, blood filters and reaches to the Bowman capsule. Then it is called glomerular filtrate, and its amount is 180 liter per day. 180 liter per day. Now, reabsorption and tubular secretion part will be discussed in next class. Thank you.